Okay, welcome back guys, and thank you for joining again. So let's quickly get to the solution. We already know the challenge, we just need to solve it. Okay, now we've not dealt with HL data so much in all of our challenges, so let's quickly take a look at what HL data looks like, and we will be focusing on the employee table. Okay, so let me quickly look. Okay, I'm already in that particular schema, so let's run this. All right guys, so now this is what our table looks like. We are only interested in three attributes here: employee ID, leader ID, and job title. All right, now that we see what our data looks like, let's quickly build in our solution. All right, so let's comment this out, and then let's start um, the recursive query. So let's do with recursive. All right, and then we can call it org. All right, as, and then we will break this. Okay, and then so let's put in the what we had there before. I'm just going to copy exactly what I have here, so that way it reduced the number of typing I have to do. All right, so now let's pull. Now we have this guy, right? What we're gonna first filter for, in fact, let's first of all pull, let's pull, okay, let's pull our employee ID. All right, let's pull job title. Okay, and also let's pull the leader ID. Okay, all right, and then all right, we're just gonna run that. All right, from org. Okay, and then we're just gonna run that. Okay, beautiful guys. So now we see what our org looks like. Now we're gonna add one more attribute here. We're gonna call it 0, so that the level starts from 0 as level. Okay, and then we're gonna run that as well. Beautiful, and then we're gonna add one more column for the path. Let's add one more column for the path. For that one, it's just gonna be our job title itself. So let's see if we can copy our job title. Okay, and then we're gonna cast it. Right now, you might be wondering why we are casting this job title. Right, I'll tell you in a minute. The reason is just because if you don't cast it the way we want to structure our job title as a part, it will affect, you know, the rendering of the result. So you just need to put in this value. Okay, if we have time, we can show you what the error looks like, but for now let's just follow accordingly. You can try on your own as well if we are not able to show you that. All right, so let's run this. Beautiful guy, you can see it's the same at this point, which is great. Now the first thing we want to address is that, you know, we are assuming from the use case that when leader ID is null, that's probably the highest office, right? So let's do that. Say leader ID is null, and then we're just gonna run that. Okay, okay, just give me 1 second. So let's run that. So you can see now that we're able to run this, right, we can see there's only the chief executive officer, which makes sense. Right now we've done that, right? So now this is now where you need to pay attention for how the recursive works. So think of it as this has been run, is save this within the system as a CTE, and then we're going to use it in this particular one. So let's copy exactly what we have here and paste here. All right, and then we're then going to do another join. Okay, we're going to join into that particular org. You can see this org is just what we use as recursive here, but we can join within recursive. Within a regular city, you won't be able to do this. Okay, so let's do inner join. Okay, I'm gonna do inner join to org. Keep in mind that your city, this is exactly what you have right now at the first instance, right? Okay, now let's call this guy, what do we call this? Let's call this emp. Okay, let's call it emp. Okay, and then let's come here and say, okay, on, all right, emp, okay, take note, right, dot leader id, okay, equals to, and then we're gonna say org dot employee id. Okay, so we are invariably saying here that the org id in this particular new table is going to be the employee ID in the org CTE is going to be the leader in this table. Okay, so therefore we're going to add two more attributes now, and we're going to call it the leader ID. Okay, so let's do that, and then we're going to have to, because these both of them now contain the same set of columns, so we have to make sure we're explicit here. So we're going to do that. So we're going to call this emp dot, and I'm going to copy that for all the other one. Okay, all right. Okay, now that we have done that, now because we join to leader, so leader becomes, so we're going to say that org dot employee ID, okay, pay attention, okay, is now going to be the leader ID here. Okay, because we are joining to this table at the leader level. We'll show you more later, but that's just take note of that, and then we're going to copy this as well. Okay, all right, and then we're going to call this employee job title. Okay, sorry, org job title. Okay, and we're going to call leader job title. Okay, and then we won't put this clause here because we don't need to. Okay, and then we're just gonna run this now. Okay, we need to be explicit here as well, and then for this one we need to make sure we set it correctly. So we want to start with the org part, right? Because if you think about CEO then goes to the lower offices, right? The lower offices below the CEO, right? So we're gonna say org.path, we call this path. Okay, we're gonna say org.path, okay, and then we're gonna say, all right, and then we're gonna put this in another. Basically we are concatenating. Okay, and then if you have been following us, you know exactly what we are doing at this point. I don't need to explain this, you know how the concatenation works. So now so let's see. Okay, so then the other thing we need to do is we need to bring in the leader for this one as well. So I'm just going to copy exactly what I have here, and I'm going to drop it right here, because when you are doing a union all, you want to make sure that the same number of attribute exists in both. So for example, we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. We must have 7 here for it to work. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Another thing I should call out, it must be union all, right? You can't say union, otherwise it will remove duplicate. You want that duplicate for this particular use case. Okay, so now let's run that. All right, now that's all you need to run, and then you can see how our record is looking right now. And some of you might be wondering, wait a minute, how come we just ran one CTE and then we're able to get all of these structure? That is the power of recursive query, right? That is the power. Now let's try to break it down. What exactly is going on here, right? So what exactly is going on here, right? So I'm going to copy this. Okay, and then I'm going to pull that in a new Excel file. I'm going to share that with you guys. Okay, let's do that quickly. I'm going to drop that here. I just copied it. So, and then, okay, so, and then we're just going to, beautiful, you can see this is what we get right now. Let's try to break it down. What exactly is going on here that we're able to get all of these values? Okay, so let's break that down. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to comment out everything we've done so far. Okay, and then we are going to try to imitate exactly what this, how the system is thinking about this solution. Now let's quickly do that. So we're going to copy this. Okay, all right, and then we're going to use the regular CTE. Follow me closely, guys. You're going to get it. Okay, you can't miss it. Okay, with me you can't miss it. You can't miss it. We'll take it slowly, and if you have questions, don't hesitate to send it to us. We'll be more than happy to look at it. So now we're going to call this org, okay, and we're going to call the first city. And if you run this as well, it's going to be the same thing. Just follow me closely, and I want to try and imitate exactly what the recursive code is doing, right? So let's run this again. You won't be surprised. Exactly what you expect is what we have here. Okay, now let's take a minute. Okay, let's look at other instances, right? So basically what we said before is that it will run this CTE and then union her with another CTE. So let's try to create another CTE, right? So we're going to say copy here, and then we're going to drop that here. So we're going to call this let's say level 1, level 1 for now. And then we're going to join this back. We didn't use this for the recursive member in the recursive as, so we're not going to use this as well. And then we're just going to copy this as well. I think that's the only thing we need. You know what? We're just going to copy exactly what we have here. Okay, and then I'm going to explain. We're going to change it a little bit. Let's copy exactly what we have here. All right, now exactly what we have here is exactly what we're going to use. Now in this case we have EMP, right? We have EMP joined to this guy, right? And then I think that's about it, right? This is the first. Now it's going to be level by level in this case because we are doing it manually. So what we're going to do here, we're going to now say union all. Watch closely, guys, and then we're going to say, all right, and then we're going to say L1, okay, and then we're going to run that. All right, guys, we can see now we are getting more data. If you go back to our Excel, see we have about how many now? 7, right? See vice president sales, and see what we have here. Let's take a look at what we have in the other data, and then you can see up to here. See exactly that's exactly what we have. That is the way it's going to start performing that union all. And we're going to do the same thing for, we have about how many levels? 4 levels, about 5 levels, right? If we take the level 0, and then we have about 5 levels, give or take, right? So let's quickly. Oh, it returned. Okay, okay, there's something we miss here. We are supposed to say okay, I think I missed that here. We are supposed to say here that org. Okay, I need to do that for you guys so we can reproduce that. Okay, just give me 1 second. Org.level, okay, +1, so that it can show us the level. I just noticed that we didn't set the level, so I'm going to stop this one for now. I'm gonna try to be as quick as possible and sweet. All right, so let's run that. I want to make sure I have this right, so let me run that. Okay, beautiful. And I'm going to override, okay, the data we have here, okay, and paste it. All right, awesome. So now this is what I'm trying to show you. You can see we have level 0, 1, and it should be up to level 4. So if you say 0 to 4, that's 5 levels. Okay, so we have to perform that union all for 5 level as well. So we're gonna just comment this back. We already did the second level, and then we're gonna do 3 more. Okay, guys, just follow me closely. Just let me see. Okay, we still have good time, so let's quickly maximize the time that we have. I don't want this to be really lengthy so that you guys don't get bored, but just follow me closely, and I just want to imitate exactly what the system is doing. So here we just switch this to 2. All right, and think that's about, yeah, and then here I think that's about it. Let me just double check. Yeah, so that's exactly what we need to do, and then we just have this to 2, and then we'll call this level 2. All right, let's run that. Let me see if it's working as expected. Okay, I'm just gonna see, give me a second quickly. Okay, I think okay, let's take a look. Let's make sure we are still okay. So okay, we can see it's showing us Chief Executive Officer, Vice President, and so on. I think I missed something in the query. Let me, oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's supposed to do L1 here. I know there's something that's supposed to change. Okay, so we need to reference. So what I've missed is that because we reference this for this first one, and the other thing we need to reference the L1 here. So let's reference L1. Okay, and that should be it. That should solve the problem. Okay, that's exactly what I missed, because you know we need to always be joining based on the last one so we can pick the right values. Okay, so I'm just gonna do this for the next 2 more steps because of time. I'm gonna quickly do that, and let's call this L3, and definitely we have to reference L2 here. Okay, let's call this L4, and then we reference L3 here, and then here we're just going to, okay, L3, L4. Okay, so let's run all of that. So beautiful, guys, beautiful. And then let's copy this, and then we're gonna check in our Excel just to make sure, right? And if you look at it, you can see senior manager, a senior tool designer. So I'm gonna drop that here as well. Okay, and then when you come here, let's expand, and you will see you get exactly what we have, right? That's exactly how it works within the system, right? So when you think of recursive, think of it like, you know, multiple CTE within one particular CTE, and it's having to do that union all over them, and then it's returning a particular value to you. One thing I want you to notice that there is going to be a setback with this approach. Why? Because if we didn't run the recursive before, there is no way for us to know how many levels we should go, right? Except if we just exploring the data, but there is no way for us to quickly know how many levels, right? But with this, we're able to know how many level it is. And I just also noticed that we did not change this guy as well. So let's switch this over back. I'm just going to switch this L1 has to be this guy, and so that now I'm just gonna do that really quick so that I can share this with you guys. And then we're gonna do the same thing here, and then we'll call it L1. Oh, okay, August, fine actually. So we'll do the same thing here for, okay, and then we'll do the same thing here, right? Awesome, guys, and when you run it, this should work accordingly. Okay, I hope this is very clear. If you're still not sure what we're doing, everything is you are mixing it, I will share this code with you and go over this video over and over. And still, if you don't get it, don't shy away from putting in your comment, and we'll be more than happy to provide solution to you, right, and be able to provide more clarity. I hope this has been helpful to you. It's really, this is one of the key concepts I like you to know. And also, as I wrap up, just know that in some machines there could be some limitations. So within the engine, some of the way the system are built, some people might just put a hard stop of 6 iteration. So keep that in mind. Understand what the way your organization has set up your own environment. Know the limitation of recursive that you have, because the reason they have to do that is because to manage performance. What if you have over 1,000 different hierarchy and they have to go through that? Then you are using a lot of computation and depriving other people from using that same computation, right, or slowing the system down. So that's why they will put those kind of limitations. But so just bear that in mind and just feel free to explore. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next session.